Just Listen is
trash. Just Listen is precocious.
Just Listen is dope.
Eye-opening.
Just Listen is rambunctious.
No, my first reaction is I thought that it was a really cool, I thought the songwriting was cool. I thought that they were like really raw tracks, but like not in a bad way, like in a good way. That if there was like a little bit of polish, I really feel like they're like really like consistent to what's like happening, in mainstream music today.
My first reaction to the first demo that you played me was I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't know what to expect. And then when I heard it, I remember like there was this sense of joy that overcame me that I was like, there's something really cool here, and I really want to help or be a part of helping it come to life even more.
I remember going through I remember JP coming in and being like, we have this new kid who's making music, and he put it on over the PA. And there were a couple tracks that I thought were like, there were a couple tracks that I was like, okay, we're gonna need to work on these. But there were a couple tracks that I was like, whoa, the musicianship, or at least the musical creativity here is like really off the charts. Just in terms of, I think what struck me first was like, Addy's voice was, he took a bunch of different voices. Like he has all these characters sort of that he uses to sing with. And so I remember there being like just all these different voices happening in the song and a lot of background vocals and stuff. And I was really interested in that. It was something that I don't hear all the time. So I remember being really intrigued off the bat when I heard some of these songs.
I mean, the amount of thought that had gone into the production, putting aside like the good, like catchy kind of ideas that went into the music, clearly there was attention to detail in the production and making the right things pop, but then letting the stuff in the peripherals kind of stay raw and a little bit untouched, and I thought that was really cool.
I did not know what to expect when I first heard your music. And then when I did, I was pleasantly surprised because I felt like I was hearing something from somebody that was sort of, I don't know if I would say completely opposite, but I would just say was different from the person that you are when you're not doing the music, right? I feel like you come off to me as a, really laid back, chill guy. And your music is that too, but not entirely. You know what I mean? It's not. I think that the music helps another side or multiple sides of you come out of your shell.
I think like flawed is what everybody is. Nobody's perfect, right? So, and I don't even believe in like the pursuit of perfection. I think perfection would, if everything was perfect, it'd be boring, right? So I think flawed is just inherently everybody is flawed, and you're just trying to make the best of what you can.
I think that it's human to be flawed. I think everybody's walking around with flaws, whether they're physical or mental and spiritual. We have things about us that are less than perfect. But the point of being a person is not to be perfect. The point is to be yourself. And to be flawed by birth, I think it just means to be unique.
Well, music production, it's like, I feel like especially from the artist side, it's like you go in to a studio or you start like a recording process with all these expectations of what things should sound like, and you work through what's possible, what's not, and then you just get to like the kind of the fuck it, let's try it ideas.
It's like an artist and their canvas and their easel, and you're trying things out. The whole point is to experiment, because there's a point where you have a song in your head and you have all the different parts floating around. You have ideas about a song, And then when you start to put them together in real life and hearing what these different tracks sound like together, then it sort of takes on a life of its own. And like every single day, every session in the studio, the song sort of becomes its own, separate from you, and it's not necessarily just your song anymore. It sort of exists on its own as its own thing. And listening to what the song wants and being like, oh, a shaker right here would like make this section, or being like, I think we need more bass out of the kick. It's like, it's a conversation you have with this thing that was initially yours. It's your baby, but then once you start to build it, it takes on a life of its own, and you start to have a conversation with the song and learn really what it is. So it's a cool process of experimenting and learning.
I think people will like it a lot. In fact, the very few people that I've been working with in the studio have all had positive things to say. So I think, like I said, I think it will resonate with people that are into what's going on in mainstream now. I think it fits in there, but I actually think there's like a lot of artistry to it too. It's not just like somebody rapping about nothing.
I think people are gonna love it. I think it's very cool. There's a lot of modern music sensibility in it that's going to make it accessible to people, listeners of like hip hop, but also pop, also indie rock. Like there's a lot of genre that it reaches out and touches. And so I think there are very few people that will be completely lost when it comes to relating to this album, which is great. You want sort of a record with some crossover appeal. And at the same time, I think that if people take a second and listen to the lyrics and sort of try and feel it, they're going to be struck by how emotionally intense it could be. And that's really what you want out of a good record, is something that people can get drawn into listening to, and then they can keep getting more out of and keep listening to it. So I think people are going to react positively.
Is there anyone you would like to shout out?
No.
Shout out to everybody here at Rome, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to Adam, Gabe, and Max, Ignacio. I don't know if Ignacio did much on this, but maybe just those dudes. And big shout out to you, man. Big shout out to you, for real.
Shout out you, and shout out like Gabe and Max, and that's about pretty much everybody like who worked on it. Like I think everybody did a really good job. I feel like I didn't have as much of a role in the crafting of the songs as like Max and Gabe did, so shout out to those dudes.
The only thing I would like to add is, and I've said this before, you got to keep on grinding, keep digging in, keep becoming better than you were yesterday, to the best of your ability. And if you want this, like I think you do, then you've got to live and breathe it every day. Peace, I'm out.